Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. This is so weird. It seemed like they just changed something for the StreamYard. Hmm. Well, it looks like an update of some sort. Um. Oh man. Well, I mean, it works just fine. It just looks different. Hmm. Well, this is the second thing they changed in a week, I think. But it's okay. So long as it works, that's the whole point. Um, I love this. Oh man, I can put it over here. I can put it right there. I can do this, or I can do that, or I can do that. Yes, it's like that song, "The Telephone Man." Hey baby, I'm the telephone man. That's a double entendre song. Do you guys remember the Telephone Man? Hey baby, I'm the telephone man. I can put it in the kitchen, I can put it where I can. Anyway, um what a weird song. And somehow it is packed away. It is firmly jotted down as in my mental Rolodex. Yep, you push aside all those cobwebs and such, and who knows what you'll come up with. Let's see, Fancy Fancy, thank you so much for being here first. And of course, I don't think we'll be here more than an hour. I don't think so. Even though I have like almost, oh yeah, I got a whole bunch of stuff to get to. So we better get going. Anyway, I'll say hi to everyone as I go along. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. Um, Kate wants to be Megan. The obsession explained. Um, I do believe that Kate is unstable. Um, it wasn't enough when someone said she had a bird brain. No, I'm sorry, a baby, a baby brain. I don't think the baby brain was descriptive enough. Bird brain is probably more like it. Um, or batty, bat brain. She's not well. She is obsessed with the Duchess of Sussex. It is very evident that she has problems. And the thing about Kensington Palace is that no one will say no to the Cambridges. They hired a bunch of people, or they were appointed people from the government and otherwise. Um, and given William's personality, there was no way that William could be an effective leader. He has no leadership ability. He will reign, but he could never rule. If he was a ruler, that would be the end of the monarchy because of how petty and childish he is. Um, his fixation on Harry, an audience of one, you might say, there were even some of the experts that on occasion have pointed that out. But I still recall, and I don't know the man's name, but when William dabbled into politics ever so briefly, when William mentioned something about it's time to end the war in Gaza, one of those people from the government said very clearly and with his full chest that William should focus on other things like the environment. And in so many words, he said he needs to stop trying to compete with his brother. It is very clear that William has an obsession with Harry and Kate has an obsession with Meghan. It's not an either or, it is both. Both of them are so consumed with jealousy. And the fact that they will, or at least one of them will reign over 1,000 year monarchy is not enough to satisfy him. He has this insatiable need to um, defeat his brother no matter what the cost. And likewise, Kate has this thirst to prove that she is superior to Meghan, so much so that she has gone out of her way to dress like Meghan. Now, the talking like Meghan, she tried a couple times to stand at a podium, like with the Shape of Us or whatever it is. And I mean, how many public speaking engagements does Kate have in a calendar year? Two, three, two. Uh, Her wheelhouse is pretty much sit her down at a table with a group of children. What does that say about Kate Middleton? That you need to sit her at a table with children in order for her to look capable, to make her look whole and complete. To look whole and complete, she needs to sit at a table with children. And even with grade school kids, it's hard for her to fight her corner. It's hard for her to take command of the conversation. The kids mostly look away and they avoid engaging with questions, and then some just stare at her, not sure exactly why are we here? What are we here? Well, what are we here for? Why are we here? What's the point of this gathering? These are the kids. You can see it in their reactions. They don't have questions for her because they're not interested in her. They don't have questions for her because nobody identifies with her. She is quite singular. Nobody identifies with her. Meghan, on the other hand, a feminist, always has been, always will be. She got her calling to become a feminist, to defend women, to be a girl's girl. She got that calling at a very young age. Um, Kate basically is just there like window decoration, like the curtains or the wallpaper, always in the backdrop. Every so often you'll take notice and say, wow, that is some beautiful wallpaper. But over time, you just kind of forget it's there. And such is her role in the monarchy. I don't know who buys the papers because Kate is on the front page. I don't know who buys the magazine because Kate is on the cover. I don't know who that person is, but it can't be a person that finds her stimulating, that can identify with one of the most protected species in all of the British Isles. Um, you're more likely to see a real life unicorn than you would be to see Kate actually being a princess. She's just protected. She's given cover every which way possible so that she can just dress up for the important occasions like a state dinner, and then she could retreat. And in between state dinners and other official engagements like that, affairs of state, if you will, you might see her a couple of times. It's really pathetic. It really is. But they knew who they were um, bringing into that family. That's what they wanted. They were afraid that there would be another woman who could assert herself like Princess Diana. That terrified them. But now they have the polar opposite, someone who's, um, how do I describe her? Maybe I shouldn't describe her. Maybe someone else should. Yeah, it's probably not my domain. Someone else needs to um, describe her. Let me see. Oh, I think I know who can do it.
reasons Catherine is so popular amongst certain demographics, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing. She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned mute woman.
An old-fashioned mute woman.
Right.
One of the reasons Catherine is so popular amongst certain demographics, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing. She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned mute woman.
Now, you know, I tried to find that a long time ago. And it's gone. It is pretty much gone. It has been, that particular part of it is no longer audible for a good reason. It was embarrassing to the, to the Princess of Wales, first of all, embarrassing to the institution. In this modern age, when celebrity women are so multifaceted, career women are so multifaceted, even the most underpaid people that you can find in society have so many more things going for them. They have their career. They probably got some type of hustle on the side for extra money. They may belong to some organization or such. They may volunteer in their community. They have so many things going on. And you have someone pampered with a staff of almost 100 people that can't even go and ride in a carriage, that only pops up every so often. And so now they're playing the game of, well, you know, she has her good days and bad days. She's had good days and bad days for 15 years. 15 years. It was never good timing. There has been every excuse you can think of, from raising the future king to morning sickness. You name it, there is an excuse for it. There's always an excuse for it. But tell that to the hardworking men and women of Great Britain who don't have excuses. They have families, they have responsibilities. And now we find out she's not even responsible for dressing herself. She has absolutely no input, no idea what to wear. As evident by her days before she was married, that was, you know, actually a bit of a hit or miss situation. Mostly missed. Barely ever reaching the target, which is why they had to hire someone before she made it into the family. They began shaping her image around the time when they realized that William could not do any better. He just couldn't do any better. He had to stay with the person. Oh my goodness, I just thought about something. For lack of a better word, she stalked him for 10 years. And now she is electronically stalking Meghan. She stalked William for 10 years. And now she's been stalking Meghan since 2018? Was it 7, 8 years she's been stalking Meghan? I wonder who she's going to follow next. That's why I said she's unstable. There's something wrong with her. She's not altogether there. Seriously, she is not altogether there. Before we get to that, With Love, Meghan is coming back in the fall. And in the meantime, there is as ever. I don't know who put this together, but I love that. I don't know who put that together. I grabbed it from somewhere, but I love that. That's a great mood board, if you will. That is a fantastic mood board. Um, and of course, as ever, I love this photo. I love the fact that you can see the ocean from their property. Isn't that cool? You can actually see the ocean from their property. Imagine how many fantastic sunsets they've had at the stately, palatial, opulent, and yet picturesque Sussex Manor. And of course, it's in Montecito, where there are no leaks. There are no leaks in Montecito, just lots of sunshine, and you could pretty much eat off of the ground. Okay, you could eat from the grounds. Well, fruit fall on the ground. So, yeah, you can eat off the ground. I'm still waiting for my invitation. I got some good news. As ever, your order has shipped. We prepared your as ever package with care, and it is now en route to you. Click here to follow your shipment as it makes its way to your home. Items in this shipment: 2023 Napa Valley Rosé, bottles 3. Yeah, bottle time 3. I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait. I got to start putting together my charcuterie board. I'm actually going to just use a cutting board and start arranging. I got to go to Trader Joe's and get some stuff for my rosé. Oh man, it's like Christmas in July. That's what it is. Christmas in July. Hello, Sharon. And Sharon. Okay, Sharon S. Sharon Middleton. Sonia Johnson. Let's see. CK. Legs. V. Thomas. The People's Duchess. Felton LaShawn. Lydia Washington. Beverly McCaskill. Kim Coates. I said hi to Fancy, right? Sharon Augustine. Angela May. And Gwendolyn Daniels. Let me see. Who else did I miss here? Is it Marls? Marls? Am I saying that right? Anyway, hello to you. Mary H., if I didn't say it already. And Faith. Okay. Kim Coates. New City Gardener. Welcome, welcome. Terry H. Again, thank you all for being here. All right, moving on. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. So here are some images that were shared on the social media. You can see People Magazine has opened up there as ever. And of course, they have some flower sprinkles. And then this one here on the right, I've shared this a couple of times, but I do love it so much. That was that one bottle that seemed to reach someone, I'm going to say on the 8th of July. Looked like they got theirs earlier. It wasn't on the 9th. It seems like they got theirs when most people were waiting for the announcement that it was shipping. But it's all good. I ain't no hater. But I love the beautiful way that they shared it. They styled it just perfect. It's a rosé, so they got the glasses with the roses. Are those roses in the glass or are they on the side of the glass? Are those painted on? Oh, you know what? I'm going to say I believe it is painted on the exterior of the glass because look at the stems. The stems are also roses, rose colored. That is beautiful, isn't it? What a nice set of stemware. That is beautiful. Nice. And then there are 3 bottles there. And let me see. I can barely see who these are from, so I'm not going to try it. And that thing that looks like an egg crate, that is how they ship the bottles. Sorry if I spoil the surprise for you guys, but I happen to have seen that, I want to say a day or two ago. They actually had the bottles inside of something like an egg crate to keep it from being destroyed. The other great thing about that is also it should help to keep the bottles from getting too hot, because it would not be a good thing if the wine is exposed to too much heat. We don't want to have an incident like Dominique Devereaux and Alexis Carrington Colby. No, Alexis Morel, Carrington, Colby, Dexter. Oh gosh, what's the other names? She had several of them. Oh well, we don't want that to happen. Let's see. The People's Duchess says, I bought Tiffany glasses for this rosé. Nice. I have one glass, which I may have purchased from a thrift store years ago, and it has gold like etched onto it in some kind of way. I have to try to show you guys when I have the opportunity, but I only have the one glass, but oh my goodness, it's beautiful. I mean, it is a wine glass, of course, and it's got the gold on it, and I guess that's what attracted me to it. And I was just like, oh yeah, I got to have that. But so I think that's the one I'm going to use. Although it kind of blocks the color of the wine, but I have to see what it looks like. If not, I'll get something clear and take a picture of it. But yeah, so anyway, that sounds absolutely wonderful. A Tiffany glasses, that is. That is so cool. Gotta love Tiffany. Okay. Oh, definitely, I will. Oh, I hope so. I hope that they, that this is not the end of it. I hate to say it, but it kind of sounds like it won't be back until next summer because it is like the summer wine. But I hope that's not the case. I hope they are putting together another batch that you can buy sooner rather than later. But yeah, it's going to be a little weird for some people because I've had a few things that I've wanted that I could not get, and it seems like we have to be really prepared to try to do our best to make that purchase when it comes up. Um, because who knows when it'll be back. These are going to be very limited items because they're going to be the type of quality where it's not going to end up in the local supermarket. At least I don't think so. So we'll see. Then one on the right there, that is, what is that? I don't know who that is. Although the one here on the right, that is Heart Mom. That is, oh gosh, what is her name? Zafin. Oh gosh, what is her name? Something Zafin McGee, Kelly Zafin McGee, Kelly McGee Zafin. Heart Mom, that's who that is. And then who is that right there? By Blanca Cabi or whatever it is, and Royally Christine C. Christine. Anyway, Yeah, so bottles are going out, everyone. There are some more right there. I love that. Got all three of them lined up to catch the light. That looks beautiful. The light going through the bottles are beautiful. I love that peach tone. That is very calming, that nice peach tone. And here's some more. Guess who can't wait for the wine fridge to chill it? You know, I don't have a wine fridge. I don't even have the room for it, I think, but I've always wanted one of those just to keep it just perfect, you know? If they have one that looks like a piece of furniture, I would think about that. Something that looks like an end table, maybe that would work. That's the only way I could figure out how to incorporate one. I'm very guarded with my countertops, right? I'm very guarded with my countertops. That is some very precious real estate. The countertops and my computer monitor. Very precious real estate. Let me see. I still haven't received my shipment notification. I already got on her staff's nerves before because I didn't get a confirmation quickly enough. I only just got mine this afternoon. So they are coming. But the thing is, I I went back and ordered 3 more, so I'm actually waiting for another notification. So I only got the one notification because when I thought about it again, I'm like, maybe I'll get 3 more, you know? And then of course after that, I'm like, how come I didn't just get 12? Right? How come I didn't just get 12? But so if it's all the same to you, I am still waiting for my second notification. This is kind of fun though. I mean, this is something that I believe will bring us even closer together as a community. The wait. Hey now, hey now. How does the song go? The dream is over. Oh well. Um, so we wait. Anyway, that's the whole point. So we wait. Yes, so far I only got the one notification. Or did I? Let me check. Let me check. I'm gonna look in the spam and see if there's another one in the spam. Uh huh. Well, I don't see it. So as far as I know, it's just that one. As ever. You know, I'm starting to get insecure. What if I'm not getting another set? What if I'm only getting that one set? Okay, 5:58 p.m. That is when I got my notification. So just hang on tight. I promise you it's coming. It is coming. Yeah, it is coming. You'll get it. Oh, really? You know what? I sent them a well, I won't say. I won't say. But I'm gonna keep that one private. All right. Marcy Foreman, thank you so much for being here. All right, let's get through these bottles really fast. It's wine time, and who doesn't like flowers? As in rosé. Oh, I see what they're saying. They put some flower sprinkles in their rosé. And then here on the right side, someone is, I guess, sharing it with the neighborhood. I don't know if I like them out there on that balcony like that. But yeah, they're sharing it with the neighborhood. I mean, not that they're going to take a tumble or anything, but maybe someone who didn't get their bottle may start throwing stuff at them. It says, simply cannot describe the pure joy this package brought me. Ah, well, remember, you guys, make sure you link your or tag rather your photos to the Instagram. See how they have at as ever official. So make sure you tag it, and your purchase may end up on display just like this. That'll be fun, right? Don't want to miss out now. Oh, I could not wait to get to this. I could not wait to get to this. This is a review from People magazine. I repeat, this is a review from People. People, people who need people are the luckiest people in the world. People, people who have rosé. Okay, hit it. Come on, people. Okay, it's buffering. And it's still buffering. Okay, let me try that again. Maybe my approach was not proper.
Okay, Megan. It's very light and crispy. It's perfect for like a beach day. Give me some sun and it's delicious.
It's really good. Oh, it's good. I think this is perfect. Like, get a drink with a coworker or a friend.
It's brunch time. Oh, I like it. I will drink this. Cheers.
Huh? One more time?
Okay, Megan. It's very light and crispy. It's perfect for like a beach day. Give me some sun and it's delicious.
It's really good. Oh, it's good. I think this is perfect. Like, get a drink with a coworker or a friend.
It's brunch time. Oh, I like it. I will drink this. Cheers.
Okay. So there you have it. That was the way they described it at People magazine. Now, I don't know if those people work for People magazine or if they're just, I don't know, some people they randomly selected from who knows where. But whatever the case may be, they love them some As Ever Rosé. Marcy Foreman says, hello, Baron and Squaddies and mods. I can't make it to all the live podcasts, broadcasts rather, but I'm listening every day. Love you, fam. So happy for Queen Meghan. Well, thank you very much, Marcy Foreman, and thank you for being a member for 27 months. That's over 2 years of membership. Thank you very much for that. And remember, memberships to Royal Sussex start at only $4.99. Okay. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. You mean to tell me you work for the most widely read English language publication and you have to oh gosh, I want to say the P word for when someone is selling their services, but you know, this is a family channel, so I can't say that P word. But you would put your contract. That's it. You will. I'll say the C word. You'll contract yourself to the highest bidder, not even the highest bidder. You can book a personal video for as low as $20. You are a so-called royal expert. You have been selling your wares, peddling your BS stories in the Daily Mail, one of the most famous publications in the world. And you mean to tell me you have to what is that? Book a personal video for $20 US? You know that's like $16 in the UK, right? $15, 15 pounds or 16 pounds in the UK. How is this a thing? This is real, you guys. This is real. This is how low Richard Eden has fallen over the years, because they're just not making that kind of money that they used to make. So they have those little, what do you call it? They sit together on those podcasts or whatever, those videos on YouTube. Well, you know, they have to split the money. They have to split it. And who knows how much of a cut they get, seeing that, you know, one is sponsored by, what is it, the Daily Mail? Are they the ones that put that together? And then he has his own little Richard Eden channel. And oh my goodness, this guy is not doing well. Are you okay? 24-hour delivery? And let's see, he has 5 reviews, which means that a whopping 5 people have used his services. Who even knows who the hell Richard Eden is? Does he have fans that will get so excited that he wished them happy birthday? Anastasia, thank you for joining us. So let's see, 20 pounds or $20, 24-hour delivery, and there are 5 reviews. Say happy birthday. Send pep talk. Somebody needs to pep talk you. Look at where you are in the gutter. Roast someone. Get advice. You know what? Here's some advice. Don't be a royal expert. Ask a question. And others. Oh my goodness. Who saw this coming? You know, when those reporters took that money from those pranksters that time, it was in the cards. Now, to be fair, he was not one of them, but this is a new low for Richard Eden. Low. Oh, it's so low, I got to say it with the highest voice I can. Oh, that's how it's just. Oh, maybe I should say it with the lowest voice. Low. It's a new low. I'm embarrassed for him. Whether it's a milestone birthday or an anniversary or a long-awaited union, you know what? If he had a nice voice, if he was more Morgan Freeman or, oh, I don't know, so Laurence Olivier. But this is old Richard Eden from up the block. This is Richard Eden from up the block. This is Richard Eden from in the bushes, from behind the pub. You know, this is Richard Eden from behind the pub, from down the alley. You know, that's the Richard Eden it is. Richard Eden who waits for the bus because he can't afford a taxi. And he is peddling his persona for as low as $20 US. You can even book a session with him. Get advice? Get advice? You mean to tell me if someone were to write in your comment section you are not going to answer, or you just prefer you get $20 US for it. I am so embarrassed that this grown adult man is making himself available on a service like this. There is no characteristic about his voice that would give anyone pleasure. You understand what I'm saying? There are voiceover actors that are far more compelling than that very soft spoken, somewhat effeminate Richard Eden. I don't see him as being a commanding presence verbally, appearance wise, or whatever. There's nothing moving about Richard Eden. Academically, he hasn't gone far enough to give advice to anyone. I mean, this right here means your life is in the gutter. You have sunk to a new low. Cameos. He's doing cameos. Who would pay for it? Who wants it? And yet, he is constantly trying to tell us all of these terrible things about Meghan. Meghan lives in a mansion. Meghan lives in a mansion. She has dined with some of the best and the brightest. They've come over to her house. She's a member of the British royal family, for God's sakes. You are doing cameos for $20. This is just disturbing. It's a new low. It really is a new low for anyone who calls themselves a royal expert, a royal reporter. This is a new low. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. I must divert my eyes away from this because it's making me very, very sad. I don't even like him, but I'm starting to feel sympathetic. Oh well, take the L, loser, and we'll see you next time. Uh, Let me give you an idea of what a terrible reporter he is. Revealed Prince Harry and Meghan's secret meeting with Spider-Man star Tom Holland and Zendaya as film takes 1.27 billion at box office worldwide. Richard Eden says it's unclear whether Harry and Meghan were keen to meet Holland and Zendaya, but they may have hoped to persuade them to take part in one of their media projects. Now, as you can see, there's a little photograph of Richard Eden at the bottom of that screenshot. Here's the thing. You're doing too much, Richard. You're assuming that the Sussexes haven't met them before. You're assuming a lot. And I'm going to tell you why you're assuming a lot. Here you go. I don't know whether Harry and Meghan met certain actors, celebs in California last year or not. But one thing's for sure is that he has met Tom Holland before, and Richard Eden is a obsessed, creepy liar. Holland met the Royals at the Audi Polo Challenge back in June 30th, 2018 at Coworth. Now, if it was June of 2018, that means that Meghan and Harry were married already, right? They married in May. So it is an excellent chance that Meghan, who attends the polo games, in all likelihood met Tom Holland as well. And if Tom Holland was there, there's a good chance that Zendaya was there. Duh. See what I'm saying? He's assuming too much. He is assuming too much. Oh, they want them to work on a future project. That's what happens when you got time to sit around and hope somebody will pay you 20 US dollars for some kind of voiceover or video. By the way, you can supply the script. You can supply the script. Yeah, that is something that you give them an opportunity to look it over. And within 24 hours, he's going to rattle something off and send it back to you. Yeah, busy making up lies, making up stuff. Oh, how about this doozy? Richard Eden, intriguing follow-up by Dan Wood in The Sun to my item last weekend about Prince William's friend, Rose Chumley. Well, Richard Eden lacked courage to go anywhere with that. He would rather leave it to Dan Wooten. And of course, Dan Wooten somehow, they made him an offer he couldn't refuse. And so Dan Wooten went from not really interested in talking about Prince Harry. As a matter of fact, he seemed to be enamored with Prince Harry, very much attracted to him. So, thanks to the invisible contract, now Dan Wooten has turned into another Royal Rhoda monster, where he doesn't say anything about Will and Kate, whereas before, Dan Wooten used to drag William from here to Harlem and back. So, and then of course, there is the other opportunist known as Richard Eden. There he is cuddling his dog, and over his shoulder, he's giving a shameless plug to James Middleton's dog treats. Yes, James Middleton gave him a complimentary package full of those little doggy treats. And of course, Richard Eden, being the very serious journalist that he is, being someone of integrity that he's always been, what did he do? He quickly wrote an article saying, "Make them the Earl and Countess of Bucklebury. Why Carol and Michael Middleton deserve their own titles for their heroic support of William and Kate." Somehow, after receiving the freebie, and that's the only freebie that we know of, somehow after receiving that freebie, I guess he gets a lifetime supply, allegedly, possibly, of doggy treats. And in exchange for that, allegedly, all he had to do was write an article pleading with the establishment to give the parents of Kate and James and Pippa titles. Look like an old quid pro quo to me, but who am I to say? I'm sure that this was all done in the light of day with integrity because nobody really cares anyway. But you get a free gift and then you write something appealing for titles for James Middleton's parents. Another way to big up the Middleton family. This shows a lack of integrity if I've ever seen it. Yep. So anyway, some time ago, one of the squatties compared him to a rodent. Psst. This is confidential. Are these two twinsies or what? I think Scrappers got all the looks in the family, though. And then, of course, there's the alter ego, Maureen. There are some squatties who are of the opinion that Richard Eden had a burner account named Maureen, whatever the name was. And the way we find these things out is, you know how some of those squatties took screenshots of Natasha Archer's friend's or follow lists from her Instagram. Well, that same type of energy from the Sussex Squad became aware that someone named Maureen was responding and tweeting as though they forgot to switch back over to their Richard Eden account, allegedly. That's how they all get caught, by the way. In case you wonder, how do we know that there's so many burner accounts? Because they misjudge, they get careless. They're so quick to want to fire off that tweet that they overlook the fact that they have not signed out of one account and signed into the other. It's an easy mistake to make. So I'm not saying that's exactly what happened to Richard Eden. I don't have firsthand knowledge of it, but it has been alleged that that is exactly what happened to Maureen by night. Got it? But I tell you, no matter whether it's Maureen or Richard, either way, I know a rat when I see one. An absolute rat. Okay. Now, check this out. Natasha Archer, who I spoke about yesterday in detail, if you notice, the whole neutral palette for her new business, where she's going to, do her own styling and image and stuff like that, an image consultant. As you can see, she's going with the neutrals, just like Meghan. Meghan uses it for the Archwell Foundation. Meghan uses it for As Ever. Well, somebody is using it for Natasha Archer. Interesting. Not a photo, just Natasha Archer. Interesting, right? So she's following up 353 people. That's down from following Meghan's inner circle. But she has 2,723 people that follow her. Interesting. That's all. Interesting. And 0 posts. So this is a new account. Well, actually, it's not a new account. She just hasn't posted anything yet. So we'll see what happens. Time will tell. Okay. Again, don't forget to hit those thumbs up, you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Contribute to the algorithm by hitting the thumbs up. Kate body blow at her most vulnerable time. Eye-opening departure is like a divorce. Every woman will understand. This is from Liz Jones. Now, the article is just a real fluff piece. Know that. It's a real fluff piece. But what's interesting is, once again, they're trying to establish sympathy for Kate. This is another example of everybody, please have sympathy for poor Kate. It amazes me that the most entitled people on the face of the earth, rich white men, are the biggest victims. Donald Trump is a victim. He just can't get a fair break. Piers Morgan, he's a victim. He can't get a fair break. Whether it's too many people of color living well, or whether it's women are asserting themselves, or whether it's, well, in Trump's case, I remember he had a court case one time. And he noticed that the judge had a Spanish last name. And what did he start saying? I'm not going to get a fair trial. I can't. You know, these are the things that have plagued people of color for years in the United States, where an all-white jury will convict them of something that they are totally innocent of. And if you complain about it, everyone will say, oh, you're whinging, you complain too much. But for rich white men, they could say whatever they want, and people will actually listen. Things start happening for them. And then other rich white men, and then poor white men, everybody just falls in line. You even have black people that feel like, oh, yeah, that's not right. Even though they're rich and entitled, even though they have broken laws like phone hacking and should be in jail, and they're not. Or you may be a felon and still run for president of the United States. Do you understand what I'm saying? They get to be the victim. They get to be the center of attention and the victim. And then simultaneously, people like that, including Jeremy Clarkson, they're the first ones to say that people of color, and particularly black people, are so entitled, and that they are doing what? That we're playing the victim. You see, everybody can be accused of playing the victim, but not everybody gets away with it. But if you're rich, white, and a man, everything is going to go your way. Like a white collar crime, you can bankrupt an entire corporation, steal hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, and get a slap on the wrist if you go to jail at all. But if you're, let's say, a retail manager, you may be looking at a long time. That's what I'm trying to say, is that they always accuse everyone else of playing the victim, but they're the ultimate victims. And in Kate's case, she is a mean girl, but it's invisible. She's invisible. She's a mean girl. She has been a horrible person, not just to Meghan, but to a lot of people. She's lazy, and nobody seems to notice. She's cruel, and yet nobody seems to notice. She plagiarizes, and nobody seems to notice. She gets away with everything. So now she loses a staff member. And as I pointed out yesterday, she had someone who came in, stayed for a month, looked around, and left. I didn't even mention that housekeeper again. They had a housekeeper that quit. She quit the royal family. She was hired to clean one house. They wanted her to go and clean everywhere and never see her family. So she quit. There's so many people, like a revolving door, in and out of that Kensington household over and over again. Most of them we don't hear about. And then some of them, because the story only lasts for one news cycle, it's basically forgotten. But this one, just in case it goes any further, this is an insurance policy. Make Kate look like she's the victim. Yes, Kate is the victim. This is a huge letdown. It had nothing to do with Kate. It's got to be the other person. There's people that left their employment before, but they just don't make a big stink about it. The only ones that stay have a beard. And if they don't have a beard, they are a beard. They are a beard. You either have a beard or you are the beard. Then you can stay. And then at the same time, they're criticizing Meghan and Harry because they say they can't seem to keep staff. Let me see, what do we have here? Just today, They had an article. As Meghan and Harry burn through staff, one telling hire reveals her doomed agenda. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, there's that. They're saying that the Sussexes burned through staff. And then let me see. I'm sure there was another one. I think there's like 3 articles I've seen today where they speak about the Sussexes and their lack of loyal staff, right? Even though the Sussexes just hired an agency to handle their PR, an agency where the other people are not employed. So are you going to go with a group, or are you going to keep those individuals? The individuals left. Now, did they offer to leave? Were they planning to leave anyway? And okay, so we'll just bring some new people in. We don't know. We will never know the circumstances per NDA, non-disclosure agreement. We'll never know. And if we don't know, I can guarantee you the tabloid media, they don't know either. They'll say they know, but they don't know. They don't know. Just like when they accused Meghan of being a dictator in heels that runs around the office barking orders at people. First of all, Meghan rarely goes to the office. The office is in Hollywood. Meghan lives in Montecito. So next time they would lie, they need to say that Meghan puts her heels on and sits at her desk and stomps her feet on the floor while yelling into the Zoom. I'm going to help them. Next time, lie and say Meghan yells into the Zoom calls. Because that's pretty much how often they're in the same room together. It's usually on camera. Camera. That was a stupid lie. Easily exposed. And it was such an awful thing that the Sussexes decided to respond to it by informing people Meghan is 99% of the time in Montecito. The staff is 99% of the time in Hollywood. They don't come to the house every day, and she don't go see them. So how is she running around in stilettos yelling at people? How does that happen? Who's she yelling at? The dog? Lex says, anyone remember last week how the tabloids Royal Rota tried to say that Meghan's staff was on a revolving door for no reason? I think that they knew it was coming. Yes. And ever since then, Legs, there has been one story after the next where they keep this dialogue going about how the Sussexes and their staff is XYZ or XYZ. Yep. Okay, let me see. Here's another one. Meghan Markle faces new reputational issue with her messy and uncoordinated reinvention. Now, that is still a critique about how the Sussexes function. That is still is pretty much the same thing. Meghan embarks on a number of projects both before and after Harry romance, but her favorability has taken a hit since marrying into the royal family. Ever since the start of Meghan Markle's romance, Harry and Meghan have gone through many different stages of life, but her transitions have not always gone down well with the general public. And why is that? Could it be a hate campaign that has been allegedly coordinated through an office of one of Harry's relatives? A hate campaign that calls upon Meghan's trashy relatives? Could that be the reason? They don't want to explain that side of things. They're going to put it all off on Meghan, which, by the way, is not true anyway. There's nothing wrong with the way that Meghan is doing business. She puts products online, they sell out. She invests in another company, in someone else's company, and they have grown exponentially ever since. Right? She went from living in Nottingham Cottage with Harry. Okay, we'll just speak of married life. She went from living in Nottingham Cottage with Harry to a palatial home overlooking the ocean. How? Let me read that headline again. Meghan faces new reputational issue with her messy, uncoordinated reinvention. I would say that whatever reinvention she's doing is going just well. Her show has another season coming up. She has partnered with, what is it, the largest streaming service in the country, if not the world. So I'm trying to figure out, how is things not working out for her? Everything she wears sells out, which is an indication of what? Popularity. One of the what is it, the president or whatever of Netflix says, I've been in a room with lots of celebrities, but nothing could have prepared me for the excitement that surrounds a visit with Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. He didn't have to say that, but he was telling the truth. All of a sudden, there's an excitement. There's an air of optimism because Meghan's there. How about Meghan at the South by Southwest? People couldn't understand why everybody was moving so fast. It was like something had changed. Not like an emergency, but like the President of the United States just arrived. And I'll never forget that the one person said, I've been at South by Southwest many times, and I've never seen anything like this. That's unpopular? That's uncoordinated? I don't know how you justify that. Meghan is so unpopular that when they put what was it, Suits, did they put it on Netflix? And it was on some other thing, and they broke a record for the amount of watchable hours. They weren't doing that just because. That was the Meghan effect. And why did they write an article like this? So that they could protect Kate Middleton. That's the whole point of it, is to protect Kate Middleton, to protect her honor, to save her from her mumbling self. So let me see, was there another one? Nope, that was it. That was it. Those are just a couple of articles that were written as a way to save Kate's honor, to salvage her reputation. In other words, the usual, tear Meghan down so you can build her up. Isn't that something? You cannot showcase Kate because there's nothing to show. She's as hollow as a drum. So the only way that you can make people love her is to do everything you can to make people hate someone else. That right there indicates how lousy Kate's life is. Lousy. The only way that she can stand tall is if an army of people go after a woman that probably weighs 110 pounds, soaking wet. They have to send a whole army after Meghan so that they can get this buffoon to stand up. It hardly seems fair, and they're certainly not winning, but they keep trying because at this point, it's not a matter of Kate winning, it's to try to salvage as much as possible. It almost seems like a nightmare. This is like a dream that they have taken someone so shallow and they're trying to make them into some type of Nobel Peace Prize winner. And it's just not the case. She has absolutely no chutzpah, no get up and go. If it was up to her, she'd only show up a few times a year and she'd be satisfied with that. There's nothing heroic about her. I can count on one hand how many times that she's intervened with anything to do with cancer. One hand. There was the photographer who was there to see William. Last minute, they dragged Kate into the room so that she could hug her on camera. Okay? There was a visit to the hospital this year, but only because they thought Meghan's show was about to premiere. I believe there was a visit to the hospital last year, and that also had to do with Meghan. And she planted flowers recently. Okay, that's 5 things to do with cancer since the 17th of January, 2024. That's it. That is the hero that they're trying to protect. By the way, that is Natasha Archer, who's married to that photographer guy. I forget his name, but is it Chris Jackson? Yeah, she's married to the photographer guy. It must feel as though your closest friend, privy to all your secrets, has seen you at your best and worst, stood in your undies in front of an unforgiving mirror, is suddenly ghosting you. See how they're trying to protect Kate? This is from that article that I just shared the headline. A body blow, just when you need every ounce of strength. Once every inch of confidence to step out into the world stage, a friend who talks you down, shores you up, and most importantly, tells you honestly what she thinks. Now, I don't believe that for anything in the world. She tells Kate what she wants to hear. I imagine the news that the Princess of Wales' personal stylist, Natasha Archer, is leaving her side after 15 years to set up her own business feels like a divorce. Who will hold my hand now? Y'all will find someone. If they don't quit in less than a month, like that other lady did, Natasha Tass Archer, 37, joined the royal household in 2010 as a junior assistant the year William and Kate got engaged. She has been by Catherine's side for every key moment, even smuggling in dress choices before the new mom emerged on the steps of St. Mary's Hospital with baby George in her arms, and has traveled with the princess on official overseas trips to Norway, Pakistan, Bhutan, and Canada. Together, they have grown in confidence. No, Kate has grown. I'm pretty sure the other person was confident when she got there. That's the only way she would have had courage to work with someone who is so inept. I won't say anything. I look and I listen, but I won't say anything. But once again, you cannot unsee it. You simply cannot unsee it. Once you see it, you never stop seeing it. uh yeah, it's different. It's different. It's anyway, she's wearing the ring. She's wearing the ring. And the reason I know she's wearing the ring is because it's practically facing me. Okay, I'm done. Catherine announced earlier this year she wanted to focus to be on her work, not what she's wearing. But I think the choice of Dior shows her silently flexing her sartorial muscle. A French label was worth more than any number of speeches about the Entente Cordiale, whatever that is. While Kate depends on and trusts Natasha, she has never been a pushover when it comes to getting dressed. When she posed for British Vogue in 2016, even the magazine's super bossy stylist Lucinda Chambers was unable to persuade her into anything too princessy. I would like to believe that Kate asserted herself. Insecure, mute Kate asserted herself for Vogue magazine, but I refuse to believe that. Yeah, I refuse to believe that. I don't see it. She did what she always does. She does as she's told. There have been very few slip-ups. Only the green vampire dress worn for the first official portrait with Williams, with Williams spring to mind, to quality street wrapper, too droopy, a few too many brown, scratchy tweed coats. But over the past year, when she must have had an inkling Natasha was leaving, oh, legs, you see there? Over the past year, she must have had an inkling. They're telling us right now that Natasha was leaving. Kate has come into her own. Uh-oh, here we go. Kate has come into her own again. How many articles are there where Kate has come into her own? Oh boy, let me see. I'm just going to Google that right quick and see how many times I can find Kate has come into her own, because it has happened more times than you could shake a stick at. Let me see. Kate has come into her own. Okay. So I see a Marie Claire from December 2021 has really come into her own, right? It says Kate Middleton has really come into her own. And here's one from June of 2023. Kate Middleton come into her own as a royal. Here's one from 2021. Kate Middleton is embracing change ahead of her 40th birthday. She has really come into her own. Oh my God. Okay. Let me see here. Kate Middleton once teased by family over relatable habit. Okay, I don't see it there, but holding her own alongside. Okay, yeah, there's same thing. It's another Marie Claire from 2023. Uh, Princess Kate achieved superhero status for holding her own alongside Prince William. February. Um, Here's another one. Daily Express, February 2023. She's definitely coming to her own. I'm telling you, there are so many articles where Kate has come into her own. It's amazing how someone who has found their voice more times than you could shake a stick at. She's found her voice, and yet she's unable to speak. Here's one from Vanity Fair. I don't want to open up the article to find it, but the words must be in there because otherwise it wouldn't have popped up here. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't want to open up the articles to find it, but anyway, you get the point. There are probably hundreds of articles out there where Kate has come into her own. This is something that she does from time to time. Kate Middleton has come into her own. It's like every other article. It's every other article. If you don't believe me, Google it yourself. And you'll see what I mean. Uh-huh. Okay. Anyway, there you have it. Poor Kate. Meghan Markle fans accuse Kate Middleton of copying Duchess of Sussex style, where you can see it right there, just as plain as your face. You can see it. The Princess of Wales played piano in blue gown during the finals of Eurovision. And here's another example. Now, to be fair, Kate Middleton has worn that pattern before. But guess what? It was a coat dress. This time, she went out and actually got an identical coat, nearly identical to the one that Meghan is wearing. Meghan wore that when she went to Scotland, and so Kate had to get one for her very next trip to Scotland. And of course, the tan coat. There she is again. The tan. Touche, legs, touche. Wait, played piano? We know she didn't do that. Yeah. Well, when she sat at that piano with that ridiculous grin on her face. But yeah, there you have it. The tan coat. And then, of course, that blue coat. She didn't own a blue coat like that until Meghan got one, which is interesting because that's kind of her favorite color. And then, of course, believe me when I say this, there is actually a photo of Kate with a turtleneck on, just like Meghan's picture. I could not find that one. One of the squaddies, by the way, put these together. So I was trying to find that other photo, but it was already taking me too much time to prep. So I had to skip it. But I actually have that photo saved somewhere. And now, Melissa Rivers praised Meghan Markle's fashion. The Max Mara coat has been a staple in Meghan's wardrobe for a very, very long time. And all of a sudden, well, here comes Kate. She had to have a tan coat. Anyway, let me play this little sound bite from Melissa Rivers. Oh, I'm sorry. I know where I put it. Okay, Melissa, you ready? Uh-oh, this is one of those ones that have a commercial. It has an ad, so I have to let the ad go. You know, this is weird. When I did this on my PC, I could skip ahead of the ad. I do this on my phone, and it won't let me skip ahead. The whole 30 seconds plays. My phone has a battery, not my PC.
She made it work. It's a single outfit. So you've got multiple designers. I'm obsessed with Max Mara coats, by the way. Obsessed. Like I went in that same trip I was in New York. I just went in to like pet them. And apparently there's a correct way to tie a Max Mara jacket and mine wasn't. It's my good camel coat that I've had forever. And they taught me again how to do it. And I tried to replicate it, and I still couldn't do it. But that's fine. She's doing that right. You know, it's all designer, but it doesn't scream designer. That's how you do multiple at once. Named a single outfit. She made it work. It's a single outfit. So you've got multiple designers. I'm obsessed with Max Mara coats, by the way. Obsessed. Like I went in that same trip I was in New York. I just went in to like pet them. And apparently there's a correct way to tie a Max Mara jacket and mine wasn't. It's my good camel coat that I've had forever. And they taught me again how to do it. And I tried to replicate it, and I still couldn't do it. But that's fine. She's doing that right. You know, it's all designer, but it doesn't scream designer.
So essentially, she's saying that Meghan is doing it right. She makes it work. She's praising her for being able to tie her coat. And we've seen Meghan with those very complicated bows on her coat, and it looks flawless. And that's the way the designer intended for it to look. And also, Melissa Rivers is praising Meghan for quiet luxury. So when she says it doesn't scream, she is saying quiet luxury, which is what a lot of people have been trying to obtain, is the quiet luxury, not the big labels, not the, very well-known brands that is everywhere, but the quiet luxury where people who know, you just know. And of course, Melissa Rivers has done the fashion red carpet thing with her mother for a long time. So obviously she knows fashion when she sees it. And she was given praise to the Duchess of Sussex for her very quiet luxury. And that's exactly what Meghan has. I would love to see Meghan bust out with a Birkin Himalaya, but that's not her style. Her style is very quiet and subtle. So classy, very classy. She keeps it very, very low key and classy. The kind of quality when you just know. So thank you, Melissa Rivers. And of course, the Aquaziras, those Aquaziras. No sooner than we saw Meghan with the Aquazira, all of a sudden, here comes Kate. And by the way, you guys, the dress that Kate is wearing, that is actually the white dress that she wore when she went to Troop in the Colors in 2024. That is the My Fair Katie dress. They changed out the belt. They added a bow to the collar and the black and white hat, and that is how they created that look, minus the aquazeras. But it's the same dress. So, and you know what? That is like one of the best dresses that she's ever worn. It is so simple, and that's what makes it elegant. It's one of the best dresses she's ever worn. The pants thing, I don't really care for Kate in pants. It's kind of awkward on her because I don't think she's comfortable wearing pants unless they're denims with her boots. Otherwise, she's not very comfortable. And then there's some pants that are kind of droopy. I don't know why they leave it like that, but they're kind of droopy around the hips because, you know, she doesn't have much by way of hips. Even that dress, she's not filling out the hips. See how it kind of puckers on the side? Which is why pants look pretty lousy on her unless she's wearing denim. But she keeps trying to be Meghan, and it just doesn't work for her. And then, of course, who can forget those scenes that you see there, hand in hand in Australia? Well, eventually, Will and Kate had to make sure, with the coordination of the photographer, who just happens to be married to her stylist. You see how this is how this is happening. You have a photographer, and I'm not saying he took all these pictures, but you have a photographer who coordinates with her stylist, and before you know it, you have nearly identical photos. And for those of you that say, oh, we shouldn't pay attention, we shouldn't give it energy, you know what's happening while we say nothing? This is happening. So that when you search for these images, the other two are going to come up. That is inevitable, whether we say something or nothing. I said better to name them and shame them, call them out, expose to the world how ridiculous this is, how petty it is, and hopefully in 50 years from now, when someone's making a documentary, they can remind the world of the obsession that Kate and William had with their brother and sister-in-law. That is about the best you could hope for, because it's going to happen anyway. It has happened. It will continue to happen. And the algorithm are going to shuffle those images together, as it already has done. So what would you rather do? Say nothing and hope it stops? Or say something and hope at the very least there will be a permanent record of the obsession? But I tell you, if you say nothing, then they've won. You say nothing and they've won. They want you to say nothing. They want to quietly assume their identity, dress like them, move like them, pose like them. And we even know that the so-called PDA is fake. But guess what? They've been getting away with it. Not because we say something, not because we say nothing. I think it's because we ain't saying something loud enough. Let me go back to Aquazera. The reason Kate moved to the tan coat is because they see how it moves when Meghan wears it. Let me share this that I've shared before on several occasions. It was 2024, I believe. And Meghan wore a tan coat, and it trended for days. Everybody talked about it. It just kept trending. And even though I I eat, sleep, and drink Sussex, I couldn't I was like, yeah, it's a good look, but I'm surprised that it's still trending. I know it's going to trend, but that it had such a long hang time surprised me. Here we go.
How's it look, Meghan?
You're looking amazing, Meghan.
This was trending for like a week. Vogue, Hello, People, everybody was talking about this look. All she did was walk out of a restaurant. And they couldn't stop talking about it. And that is why dull, dim-witted Kate has been trying so desperately to make her identity that of Meghan's, or at least to capture the essence of Meghan by wearing what she wears. It's also bullying. It is bullying. It's intimidating. Part of it is to intimidate. It is to demonstrate to the Sussexes, and this is not just Kate, this is both of them. That's why I say, you guys that limit this to, oh, they just want attention, you are missing the point. You are missing the point. In my opinion, you're not picking up what they're putting down. This is a direct affront. This is to let them know that even though you're 5,000 miles away, we can still F with you. We're going to do it in this way and that way. And when that doesn't work, we're going to dress like you. We're going to move like you. We're going to pose like you. This is done deliberately. It's like an assault. And if you're not catching that, fine. But that's what I see it as. Do not downplay the meaning behind those things. They're doing it deliberately, and they're doing it for a reason. It's to undermine. It's to make you feel insecure. Now, whether it has that effect on the Sussexes, I don't know. But I feel as though the attempt has been made. Everything you do, we're going to do it too. We're going to be right on top of you. We're going to use our influence. We're going to use the government. We're going to use the media. We're going to use everything we can, including fashion, so that we can box you in. So everything you do, people will identify us. It will lead back to us. It's a very serious thing. If you had a neighbor that went and got the same car, that had their wife or their husband start dressing just like you and your spouse, you'd move. You would move. You put an alarm system on your house. You'd peek through the blinds. Every night when some headlights come panning around the corner, you'd crap your pants. This is no less serious. The billionaire and his wife are trying to assume your identity. I don't like it. I do not like it one bit. Sophia Noble talked about symbolic annihilation and the campaign to destroy Meghan, what Natasha Archer did in stalking Meghan and her friends on social media would not have happened without Kensington Palace approval and was part of the campaign to warp and destroy Meghan's image. End of. That was the whole point of it. That was the purpose. Now, the ancestors have done what they've done. I'm not going to say what the ancestors may or may not have done. But just remember, I said that this is unsustainable, that there's no way that Mumbles can keep up. Now, whether or not it was this type of illness or another, whether it was in her head or in her stomach, wherever the illness came from, it may have been both. But something happened. And the same with William. I don't know how the ancestors manifested in William, but we do know this, that last January of, well, actually, I think it started in December of 2023, to be honest, maybe November, when the, what was the name of the book? Endgame. It was something about Endgame that rattled their cage really good. Something about Endgame. Endgame clearly came from the ancestors. It manifested through Omid, but it came from the ancestors. Endgame did something. I just don't know exactly what it was, but it did something. And things just wasn't the same after that. And they went into a downward spiral, and it took them almost a year to regroup. It took them almost a year to regroup, only for Meghan to announce that she had her show coming out, and then, of course, products. And they kind of, freaked out again. They're freaking out again. They have spent all of 2025 trying to figure out how to deal with this new popularity. And remember, last year, the Sussexes had 2 tours abroad, plus the time that they spent in Canada a year before the Invictus Games. So that's 3 international trips where they shined like new money. And even those hateful tabloid people were saying, this is bad. This is really bad. William and Kate are going to have to step up the game. And somewhere along the way, we got, what was it? Global Statesman, right? Kate was coming into her own again, and Kate's in remission. All of that stuff. But I have to say, Kate is actually the one that is lagging behind. William's doing what he needs to do, but Kate is just kind of going along to get along. She doesn't have the stamina for it. She never has. And it's not associated with illness They have enough staff that they can make anybody look capable, which is an indication of how pathetic Kate is. Kate can barely function with a staff of 100. If she had the entire military, she couldn't do much better. She's not fit for purpose. I'm sure she's a great mom, but that's about it. She can't even dress herself. She cannot speak. She has no initiative. It's embarrassing to watch a grown adult woman being placed at a table with children so that she might have intellectual equals. And even they don't know what she said. It's embarrassing. And you know what's really rich is that Meghan wore that tuxedo suit that night, or kind of looks like a tuxedo to me. They had an evening out. She's wearing black stilettos, and Kate was somewhere pregnant and had on this beautiful Grecian gown. And of course, Meghan didn't want to take any attention away from her, not while she was traveling abroad. So Meghan wore that simple two-piece suit with a white shirt. And of course, there was a wall of cameras to record every moment of it. I'm sure that they didn't like that. Kate got plenty of attention that night, too. To be fair, she did. But we know who the star was. We know who everybody really wanted to see. Kate in the gown, typical. Meghan, actually going out at night as a royal princess, wearing a black suit with a white shirt, that's news. She was able to downplay her role and her position so that Kate could be elevated, looking like a Greek goddess, and yet at the same time stole the headlines. And the umbrella, that is another thing that keeps them up. I probably can count at least 3 times when they have compared William and Kate and their umbrella. They want so desperately to have that umbrella moment. I'm surprised they haven't completely staged it. They've tried, but they just can't seem to work out how to do it. They were so stupid they had 2 umbrellas. And you have to have 2 because if you have one, Kate's gonna go without. I don't think I've ever seen them arm in arm under an umbrella. Ever. Someone posted a video the wedding day of the Cambridges. William gets in the car and sits down and closes the door while Kate is still standing outside the car talking to someone. He's in such a hurry, he ran and jumped in the car before his new wife. Run off the plane and leave pregnant Kate standing at the top of the steps. That's news. Could you imagine if Harry had done that? Church Nellie? Church Nellie? Are you going to check the steel? Are you afraid the revenue man is going to see you making some of your rheumatism medicine? Is that what have you up tonight? You got to go and check your your medicine machine, your medicine making machine. I think it is a full moon now that I think about it. Oh, Abigail Spencer, meet your twin. Yeah, Abigail Spencer, meet your twin. And she couldn't just wear the same dress. She had to, of course, show off her legs. Yeah, that's the future queen, by the way. That is the mother of the future king. And the reason that Kate wore black gloves is because, well, I'll let you figure out why she's wearing black gloves with a dress that she was not wearing them before. Now, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to put my arms to my side. I want to say that most of the bend of my arm is facing inward. I want to say that my thumb is mostly forward and my pinky is mostly to the rear. I'm just going to say that, and I'm not going to add anything else to it. I'm just going to say that. But I want you to take a look at your arms. Now, see how the inside of your elbow, see how it's different from other people's? That's all. I have nothing else to say. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm strong to the finish, 'cause I eat meat spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Boop, boop. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm strong to the finish, 'cause I eats me spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Somebody that went from olive oil to Popeye. Okay, that's all. Kate Middleton's new scientific approach to dressing. Duchess has ditched stiff dresses for tonal jumpers and coats with sleek trousers to create a polished uniform that simplifies dressing for a busy mother of three. A busy mother of three. Get the hell out of here. The Duchess of Cambridge, 39, relies on tonal coats and jumpers with trousers. She stepped out in raspberry jumper and coat from Hobbs on Wednesday. Outfit was similar to one worn by the mother of three on several appearances. A formalic approach to dressing is an easy way to look polished on the go. Where is she going? She ain't going to work. Where is she going? Where is she on the go to? She ain't going to work. And as for scientific, oh Lord, here's scientific. Here's the scientific. This was a very feeble reaction to Meghan. This is one of those reactions to Meghan. Now, wear some dark pants, right? Probably black, dark black trousers, and then put a colorful coat and top on. They were trying to tone down the old button-down coat dress look and take it into a new arena, a new phase. This is what you call scientific dressing. Or Hillary Clinton. If the coat wasn't so long, I would have thought that was Hillary Clinton. Seriously, I would have thought that was Hillary Clinton. Can you say dull? I mean, these are real sleepers right here. Real sleepers. It don't look like nothing. I feel like I'm renting a car, and the lady at the counter just grabbed the keys and she's walking out to the car with me. That's what I'm seeing. Not a royal princess, not a fashionista, but I'm looking at someone who, I mean, there are real estate agents that are sharper than this. That is pitiful. And they had the nerves to give it a name, scientific dressing. And then, of course, being Kate, two things happen. That horrible mouth tick, she don't know what to do with her mouth, and she don't know what to do with her hands. Either she's smiling and gesturing, or she has that weird tick. See that little tick she got? Everybody put their hands up and waved, right? William doesn't seem to know what to do. Kate, she don't know what to do. Everybody else got their hands up. They're supposed to be doing a group activity, right? And for some reason, I don't know if they're over medicated or overstimulated or something, they couldn't seem to get their hands up. And then at another part of it, they were supposed to clap with the group. Well, Kate missed the cue, and William still ain't sure what to do. Wow, that rhymes. Kate missed the cue, and William still ain't sure what to do. So Kate's clapping long after everyone else stopped. And William is still, I don't know if he calls himself doing the robot, or is he imitating the Tin Man? What is he doing? What is William doing? I can guarantee you that this outing with children was the last place they wanted to be. And yet they had to show up. And you could tell. Thank you, People's Duchess. How apropos. They're glitching. They are glitching. They need to unplug them and then plug them back in again. They need to do a reset. I mean, I'm looking at them, and you know what song is in my head? Dancing, dancing, dancing machine. Watch you get down, watch you get down. Do, 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 dance machine. Yep, I feel like I'm watching some white folks trying to do the Jackson 5. That's what I'm getting here. It's like watching some white folks trying to do the Jackson 5. Dun, 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 dun. It's like someone just asked Michael Jackson, how do you do the robot? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's Anyway, Poe Will and Kate. And also, here's a reminder. When Meghan left the UK, and she was gone for 3 months, and then she returned for their farewell tour, when she taught the women in the royal family, the younger women, that is, how to dress. Kate wore that horrible blue outfit that she has on, a coat dress, up in Scotland. They were not welcome, and they let that be known. The First Minister of Scotland begged them not to come because they thought it might turn into a super spreader event, but they came anyway. And then, of course, up in the valley of the Jolly Green Giant, she wore that nightmare of a dress over to Ireland. What is it about the Celtic people that Kate hates them? Kate hates Celtic people. She hates the Welsh, she hates the Scottish, and she hates the Irish. Because she has, in every case, worn one offensive outfit after the other. That green outfit that self-contained ecosystem, that rainforest of terror that she's wearing. It looks like Kate's country cottage kitchen curtains. If I was driving through the countryside and I saw a cottage in the distance and I saw the kitchen window, I would expect to see those curtains blowing in and out of the window. Kate's country cottage kitchen curtains. Bet you can't find that on Amazon. Well, not the Amazon website. You could probably find it somewhere around the Amazon River. Yeah, I spoke out of turn. You can find that at Amazon, in the Amazon, but not the website. I don't think they have anything like that. Never show up looking like Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom. It's not a good look. But that is what Kate wore just a week before Meghan's return. Just a week before Meghan's return, she was wearing that garish green dress. Oh, what an eyesore. What was she thinking? Could you imagine the Queen of Spain or the Queen of Denmark? Could you imagine them wearing something like that? Or how about the Queen of the Netherlands? Imagine them wearing something as awful as that. That dress is hideous. Hideous. I could not believe she wore that dress.
Meghan in a Valentino white. Compare, I hate to do this, but compare Meghan in a Valentino white, absolutely wowing the crowds, and dear Kate in that very staid 1940s Amelia Wickstead coat.
Oh, you were really winding me up now, yeah.
Well, I knew that would upset you, Richard, because I know you're more of a Middleton kind of girl and you like the sort of twin set and pearls 50s look. But all I'm saying is, who's speaking to the future generations, the younger generations? It's Meghan.
Remember when she wore that? How people went on and on about how bohemian, how chic and elegant, casual, yet chic and elegant. They went on and on and on. All of the fashion magazines were talking about that outfit. Yeah, they just went on and on. Duchess of Drab. It's the mystery of the cosmos. How does a beautiful woman make designer outfits look so frumpy? I don't know. Ask Kate Middleton. Ask Kate Middleton. She's the source of it. And that was 2016. That was while Harry and Meghan were still dating, or just before they started dating, maybe. And there she is. Wow. And thanks to the Duchess of Sussex, now she doesn't dress like that anymore. Now she looks modern. Look at that. Kate's top looks of 2022. Princess of Wales' most searched for outfits include daring off-the-shoulder gown she wore to Top Gun. She shouldn't have worn it, but she wore it to Top Gun. And the demure Jenny Peckham design that she wore during the Windsor walkabout. I couldn't imagine anybody searching. I could imagine them searching for the black and white. I could imagine someone searching for. I couldn't imagine them searching for anything else, honestly. Yeah, that's about it. Unless someone's looking for something for bridesmaids, I could not imagine them searching for anything else. Kate Middleton attempts to copy everything Meghan's got abused for is so sinister. I guess messy buns no longer break protocol. Yeah. Remember the messy bun gate? And there's Kate wearing a messy bun, trying to be relatable. Why does Kate Middleton dress like she's 50? Tom Sykes wrote that. It's notoriously hard to confidently make the transition from carefree, glamorous newlywed to stylish mother, whatever it says. Yeah, you know when it's very difficult to do that? When you're not Meghan. What you do is you wait for Meghan to come along. By the way, this article is from 2015. You wait for Meghan to come along, and then you change everything. That's what you do. Sarah Vine, how Kate went from drab to fab, from eyebrows to Pilates to a new style guru. Our experts reveal the Duchess of Cambridge's secret to looking sizzling. Now, that is 2019. That's 2019. I want to say I see maybe one or two outfits, the white one and the blue one. I think those are the only two that are interesting. Other than that, those pants look like she got them on backwards, the tan ones. That sailor suit she's wearing on the right, the white stripe thing, you know she's got the buttons in the front of the pants. And you know why? Because Meghan wore that in Wales when they went to that castle. Yeah, otherwise it's pretty bad. Let's see, Sarah Vine, my memo to Meghan Markle, following her Vogue editorial, we Brits prefer true royalty to fashion royalty. Well, you're neither. And okay, I'll just go on. By the way, that was the best-selling Vogue magazine, British Vogue in history. The best-selling British Vogue in history. So that's why, of course, they have to demean it, is because it was the best-selling British Vogue in history. Oh, by the way, did I tell you that that's the best-selling? Yeah, you can barely find it. It's hard to find and expensive if you do. Oh my goodness, take a look. Someone's incredibly trendy, minimalist living room has a bottle of the As Ever Rosé. Isn't that interesting? Wow, that's nice. How Diana loathed Sophie Wessex and reduced her to tears. First of all, I didn't know the two of them had ever met. Second of all, I think that Sophie could take care of herself. I mean, after all, if you ever read about the type of office she worked in, it sounded more like Sodom and Gomorrah. But she could take care of herself. Ain't nothing happened to her. I don't believe anything that those royal authors say. If it was that important, they would have spoke about it years ago. Whatever. Oh my goodness, there's another bottle of the As Ever Rosé. In someone else's living room. That is so interesting. Sussex Squad. Oh, I couldn't wait to talk about this. Sussex Squad. The Sussex Squad comes to Harry and Meghan's defense in advance of Oprah interview. Now, that was March 3rd of 2021. As you know, the Oprah interview, I think it was March the 8th? Was it March the 8th? Something like that. The Sussex Squad is formidable. Let me just say that. The Sussex Squad is formidable. And I feel like it is a privilege and an honor to maintain this space, this safe space for, whatever it means to you. It is a privilege and an honor. And most of all, thank you for trusting me to do this work. Just like I'm going to trust you all to give a thumbs up. Now, Alexis is sowing discord in the West, shared this. When the British press in their pockets, American tabloids and right-wing media on their side, it took a group of strangers around the world to document double standards and now the stalkerish behavior in the royal household because of Sussex Squad. Harry and Meghan's story lives. And of course, she or he went on to say, Sussex Squad is a unique fandom in that we don't only support Harry and Meghan, but we have to be investigative journalists and record keepers, rather. It is our meticulous screenshots, archiving of articles and videos that has made it possible for the royal family to rewrite history. Impossible. Sorry about that. Let me drink some water. My mouth is getting dry. Okay. That has made it impossible for the royal family to rewrite history. And right there, you can see Sussex Squalid inside the sinister world of the Sussex Squad online trolls, making Kate Middleton's life a misery with bullying and lies. The Sussex Squad just make outlandish claims about Kate in defense of their heroine, Meghan Markle. Now, that's a little thing that I saved from 2024, March of 2024. Let me see. It was March the 17th. No, I'm sorry. It was March 22nd. That's when Kate made the appearance on the bench. So I'm doing it. I always think everything in terms of chronological order because I like to think of where were we at that time. So let me see. March 27th. And it was... okay, so this was after. Yeah, because I think it was March. No. Wait, when did she sit on the bench? Charles spoke of cancer on February 5th. And I think Kate's was March the 22nd. I think so. So this was post confession or testimonial. Okay, just wanted to make sure I got that right. So I think what happened is after she sat there on the bench and started telling us the greatest story ever told, and some people were not buying it, they decided to blame the Sussex Squad because people did not believe her. That's what I think that is in reference to. Sussex Squad versus The Firm. Why Harry and Meghan are winning the PR war in America. Now, this is an old headline. It is actually from, let me see, the date is there, but I can't see it. Hold on a second. Okay, that is March the 8th, 2021. So this is post Oprah, because I think Oprah's interview was the 8th. Was it the 6th or the 8th? I can't remember. Anyway, at their stands the Sussex Squad. I'm sorry, at their side stands the Sussex Squad, a social media Praetorian Guard, relentless in their defense of all things Harry and Meghan. You damn right about that. Perhaps not in Britain, but in much of the rest of the world, there is now a risk that the crown's tribal potency is seen to be so feeble it can't subdue its own progeny. In other words, y'all better look over your shoulder because we're going to be right there behind you. Every step, every move you make, we are going to call them out. We're going to speak truth to power. Because we have the Sussex Squad Detective Agency. And if you know the Sussex Squad Detective Agency, you know we keep records. Now, there is a shadowy figure that is not Prince Harry, that is an old detective from the 1940s. As a matter of fact, this photo is from the 1940s. He just happens to have a striking resemblance to Prince Harry. He has the wit and intelligence of a what's his name, Humphrey Bogart. Yeah, you see, he's a real wise guy. See, but yeah, this is one of our detectives. They all look like Prince Harry, by the way. But yeah, so this is like symbolic of the Sussex Squad, nameless, faceless beings that all have one thing in common, and that is veritas. That's Latin for truth. That's all we want is the truth. Veritas, the truth. Now, I got to show you this. Do you know that they coerce people out of their seats so that that old bag of bones could get the same type of honor that Kate Middleton received when she went to Wimbledon last year? I think they were afraid that there weren't enough people on camera standing up when that vampire walked in, that crypt keeper. So they actually, I mean, you could see the lady right there, patting the guy on the arm. Get up, get up. Don't you see that? That's the Queen Consort. Get up. That's Queen Camilla. And the guy's like, oh, crap, you know? Oh, crap. All right, here goes.
Majesty the Queen taking her seat in the royal box.
Here, got that hand pumping up and down. Look at her again.
Taking her
Telling
seat
everybody to get
in
up.
the royal box.
The lady right there, then the guy. And look at Gladys. She found the ugliest dress she owns. She literally went and found the ugliest dress in her closet. I'm going to go to the Wimbledon. I guess I'll dress like I'm going to the flower show. Oh, God. Oh, what a big sloppy mess. A big sloppy mess. That is absolutely hideous. I'm getting liner of some sort. Like if I open up the drawer of an old dresser, right? If I found an old dresser, a bureau or something, and I pull the drawer open, I would expect that to be lining the bottom of the drawer. If I moved into a Victorian home and I went into the pantry and I began to I examine the layers of paint, I would notice that wallpaper. Or if I look at the top shelf, you know, they line the lower shelves, but the top shelf hard to reach. If I got on the ladder and went up to that top shelf and I try to figure out, now, what have they lined that top shelf with? I would expect to see that. I would expect to see that pattern. What a big sloppy mess. See how Kate got a standing ovation? That's what Gladys wanted. She wanted people to smile. And Gladys, you have to have, or at least tell people you've had a huge health crisis, and people will stand up for you too. Being a home wrecker and a fornicator is not enough, right? You have to You have to do more than that. Look at how proud Kate is. See how she got her arms all pulled back like Steve Urkel? She got her arms all pulled back like Steve Urkel. And then eventually she started looking out the corner of her eyes to make sure people were actually, buying it, making sure people buy it. When I thought about Kate at Wimbledon, I just wanted to remind you guys of what a mean girl Kate is. Cruel, mean, heartless. You see that? That's Roger Federer and his wife, Mirka, right? Mirka. Princess Kate took, one more time. Princess Kate looks thrilled to catch up with old pal Roger Federer as she's honored at Wimbledon, but his wife, Mirka, doesn't look quite as happy. I wonder why she doesn't look happy. Do you know why she don't look happy? Or how about this? Because let me see, what time is that? That is 9:18, and this one is 14:02. So this was the rewrite, I think. This is the original. Princess Kate looks thrilled to catch up with old pal Roger Federer as he's honored at Wimbledon, while wife Mirka concentrates on the action on the court. Yeah, this is the rewrite. This is the rewrite. This one implies that she was jealous and a bit angry because of the way Kate was carrying on with her husband. This one is when the palace called. This is, oh yeah, I'm sorry, you know what? That is July the 4th. This is July the 5th. So overnight, somebody called and said, listen, change that headline. Change the headline. And that's exactly what they did. They changed it. There's Mirka already sensing trouble when Kate was, making her way to the box. I bet you Mirka didn't even want to be there. But the only reason why she's there is because she's trying to save her marriage. And there's Kate in an unguarded moment. This is one of the photos that did not make the cut. This is one of those Getty images. This is a Getty image, one that did not get picked up by the magazines and the newspapers. That's the real Kate Middleton, just so you know. That is the real Kate Middleton. Sinister, heartless, cruel, and no friend to other women, as evident by this. Look at that. Poor Mirka is having her heart torn out while Kate is putting on this very tacky, torrid display in front of the world. And Mirka had to sit through it. Kate Middleton steals Roger Federer's wife's smile at Wimbledon. I think this was in Geo. Everybody was talking about it. I guess they couldn't get to everybody fast enough to change the headlines. Or how about a little close-up there? That is everybody's good girlfriend, Kate. They want you all to believe that she is a girl's girl, when the truth is she is cruel and heartless. It's no wonder that she took such pleasure in watching the Sussexes pack up and go. Mission accomplished, I would say. Mission accomplished. Kate Middleton flirts with Roger Federer at Wimbledon. This is from the Merkur. I guess it's a German magazine or newspaper. Much to his wife's annoyance, At Wimbledon, by the way, this is translated, Kate Middleton turned heads. Tennis legend Roger Federer could hardly take his eyes off of Princess, much to the chagrin of wife Mirka. London, a murmur rippled through the crowd as tennis legend Roger Federer gracefully walked down the steps of the VIP box to thunderous applause, first greeting his wife Mirka, then passing her to place his hand confidentially, that is, on the back of the future Queen of England. I thought they weren't supposed to touch people like that. Kate Middleton, and smiled knowingly at her. See, this is a weird translation. Clearly a breach of protocol and just the prelude to the second heated match. This went on, and poor Mirka, just heartbroken, hurt that her husband is carrying on like that in front of the world. Let me just say it again. If that was Meghan, okay? If Meghan sat at a tennis match openly flirting in front of the full court press, there was a lot of familiarity between Kate Middleton and Roger Federer. Sparks flew in the stands because Princess of Wales and the former Swiss tennis star, everyone could see it as the cameras were focused on the royal box, and every facial expression was projected onto the stadium monitors in a magnified format. It was easy to see these two understood each other perfectly. Kate laughed, leaned toward Federer. He beamed at her. She beamed back. They joked, touched, and leaned toward each other. The expression on his wife, Miroslava Federer, also known as Mirka, face, however, became increasingly somber. Thank you, Kate Middleton. You're a chip off the old queen consort, aren't you? She's going to make a great queen consort. Wonder who home she's going to wreck. Anyway, oh my goodness, check it out. There's yet another bottle of is that the As Ever Rosé on this incredibly minimalist living room coffee table? Wow, it sure is. And look at the settee. There's my household companion. Yes, that I'm dog sitting this week. Hey, how did you get on the monitor here? That's so weird. I mean, she's there sleeping right by my feet, and yet she's in this image. I don't know how that happened. That is so weird, isn't it? My goodness. Oh, well, that's the magic of communication. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to do a thumbs up. This is how we keep the lights on. Also, thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. Your likes and dislikes help to drive the algorithm. Well, this went on a lot longer than I expected. And here's the last image of the day. There is Harry and Meghan. One of the squaddies posted this. And I don't know if I've seen this before. But I'm trying to, they colorized it. Now, usually I don't approve of colorized photos, but this looks beautiful. That is beautiful. And can you guys spot the Easter egg? If you look all the way to the rear in the background, you can see yet another bottle of that delicious, crisp, fruity bottle of the Rosé, the As Ever Rosé. There it is on the back counter. So anyway, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Love you guys. I will see you all next time.